Broadcasting from Watts Creative Studios and live on Grove Street FM. You're listening to Cool Talk Live, brought to you by Brown's Heating and Air, with your host, Brandon Brown.
Good morning. Welcome to Cool Talk with Brown's Heating and Air on this beautiful rainy day here in Bedford. Hope everybody's having a great week and is looking forward to, I think it's going to be better weather this weekend. So get through this hump day of rain and then maybe we'll have some sunny, warm days ahead. I wish Woody, you need to bring Woody's Roundup back.
I know.
Get Lauren here. We just had a 30-minute conversation between me, Woody, and Carrie about Disney and tips and planning. And
we were just talking about that the other night. We said we need to do some more episodes because that was a lot of fun.
You've got to. We got as much knowledge and tips and information we can put together to help. Yeah, you might have to start a travel agency.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Lower your expectations.
You can do it. You can do
Step
it.
one.
Yeah, step one.
Don't get too excited.
Yeah, it's all digital now, so that's what we were talking about. It's not as fun as it used to be where you could just get the passes and go. Now you're almost planning the whole time. So, but it is a definitely good experience if you've never been. Welcome today. We are in the studio today. We have Carrie with us.
Hey
Hi,
there.
Carrie.
How are you?
Carrie we're going to kind of talk about her business. She's got a couple different businesses and things going on and advisory things she does. Still working, I think, on the board for Miss Virginia, right?
Yeah.
And does some business consulting.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about all the stuff you do.
All the things, yeah.
I mean,
I think most people know me, or I'm affiliated most in the community with Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A, yeah.
And that's obviously, more than combined 10 years of experience in the community, serving on the executive team there and marketing, hiring, things like that. But that's also kind of launched me into a couple of different ventures over the past couple of years. Chick-fil-A has won the Best Professional Development Workshop. We've been going into businesses for over 6 years now, kind of sharing customer service tips and what does Chick-fil-A do in terms of hiring and training the team to make them smiling and always saying, it's my pleasure, and what does that look like? And so just really kind of stepping out now to have my own LLC, Carrie Wright Consulting and team building, effective communication, professional development workshops, and just working with businesses on maybe what their challenges are right now, especially post-COVID, what they might need in business and with their culture inside of their teams.
So, in your procedure or your class that you use for Chick-fil-A can be brought to any kind of business. Absolutely. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be food.
Correct. Yeah, in fact, what's interesting is that I've worked so many times with people. In fact, I don't think I've worked with anyone that's in the food industry. I'm working a lot with people in the health industries, especially over the past 2 years. That's been probably one of the predominant industries that have been requesting, like, hey, our teams are tired. We have been serving the community front lines through this COVID pandemic. And so what can we do to just maybe kind of encourage the staff and maybe also kind of go the extra mile when it comes to customer service? And so that's kind of stemmed into some other things where a lot of times I'll go in and work with the team and we start to uncover, hey, we actually can teach customer service, but we might also need to work on building some relationships or maybe having some better communication skills.
Yeah. Now, how would a typical, I guess, training or session look like? Is it a day thing? Is it multiple days? Do you try to set up things where you can maybe meet with people every so many months?
Yeah.
And then once it starts, what is a typical, maybe a session? What do you try to get your goal for a day?
Yeah, I mean, anywhere from about a 60 to 90-minute workshop. I usually ask for an intake. Send them an intake form on, what is their biggest desire to see out of this workshop? What are they looking for? What are some of their biggest challenges? Maybe they tell me hey, we just have a rundown team, or we just have some miscommunications inside of our workflow. And so it's really kind of uncovering what would be the best for them, and then going from there on creating some strategies that are going to be really practical takeaways throughout the workshop. I'm very hands-on, so I like to have a lot of interaction. Let the customers tell me what it is that they want and talk through some of their scenarios. I was just in a workshop last week where it was all about better communication and team building, and allowed them to submit. We had probably 10 different scenarios that we worked through on how to have specific conversations in the workplace. An example was is, my neighbor next to me in the cubicle is wearing a strong lotion and it smells. How do I have the conversation with them? I mean, simple things that sometimes people take for granted, and how to talk through those.
Yeah, and so if you're on the Chick-fil-A side, do every employee go through something like this different? Because it is a difference. Like I said today, no matter you're in Virginia, Florida, North Carolina, you go through fast foods and you go through Chick-fil-A, there's always that sense that the customer's first at Chick-fil-A. Yes. So I guess I know they're all locally or individually owned by different people, but the franchise, I guess as a whole, makes employees go through certain training about this, or is it just...
Well, every Chick-fil-A can decide what they want that to look like. For Lynchburg here with Ward Road and River Ridge, we have a really specific training program that we've built out. It takes them about 2 weeks to go through. The first session that they go through is all about hospitality. So they're actually meeting with my dad, the hospitality director, Bill Dunbar. He's the one that you always see out in the parking lot or in the dining room.
How long has he been there?
A long time, over a decade. Yeah. And he's been in restaurant business his whole life. So his kind of whole philosophy is, and one of the Chick-fil-A ways, if you will, and this is taught throughout every Chick-fil-A, is that every life has a story. It just is a matter of like taking the time. So from a 16-year-old all the way up to a 60-year-old, they're going to hear that we want to treat each guest, even if it's only 60 seconds that we interact with them, as if this is their one and only person for the day. So we want them to have a remarkable experience. And so then it's kind of taking that to other businesses and saying, what are your challenges? Who are you working with? And sometimes it's just a matter of them saying, like, I could get my job done if I didn't have to deal with people. Right. Even an accounting firm that I've worked with here, that they don't have a lot of interactions with customers necessarily, but they have a lot of interactions with each other.
Right.
So there's always going to be conflicts and just miscommunications when it comes to working together with people.
Yeah, and it's amazing that philosophy and focus for Chick-fil-A and y'all's goals, and how much it compares and aligns with me and our company as Brown's Heating and Air, because we have the same standards. We have the same philosophy. Customer, treat everybody like they're your mom or dad, your grandma. They're first, no matter how long, whether we're there for a quick cleaning or we're there for 8 hours a day. So, and that was the main reason that led me to, reaching out to you. Like, for when we do these we do a giveaway now. This is coming up on our second year. We're starting soon. Yeah. And me and my wife were talking about it, tossing an idea. Well, we really want to partner with somebody like-minded. Yes, it's a food business, but there's a lot of similarities in the consulting that you do in Chick-fil-A's philosophy and Brown's Heating and Air. It was just a easy decision. Yeah. Well, so that's definitely been easy for us to decide. Like, it's just automatic. It just fits.
We loved partnering with you. I mean, our first contest, Brandon, was such a huge success for the first time. You kind of approached us and said, hey, we want to do this contest. Are you in? And it was a no-brainer for us as well. I mean, we do two totally different things, right? Like, we have different audiences and things, but we thought, well, the power of us coming together and serving the community. We saw over 350 application submissions for the contest the first time through. How many?
We ended up
like 1,300 votes or something?
13 to 1,500 votes within 2 weeks on the top three, on the final three.
Amazing. And so thank you for partnering with us, but really just allowing us to give back to the community, because I know that is a huge part of what you also approach your business with as well.
Yes, we always, and I was always told growing up, if you ever get in a position you can give back or donate something back, make sure you do it, because life's not all about money and getting all you can. It's about, treating the people around you in your community, and helping them out where the needs are. Right. So I'm looking forward to giveaway number 2 firing up, between Brown's Heating and Air, Chick-fil-A, and Watts Creative Studios, the top 3 that we've combined. We've been fortunate enough for the first one to go by, and we learned a lot. We did learn a lot. I mean, it's not an easy process. Right. It's not an easy thing. You just people, you may look at it and say, hey, you just nominate somebody and it's easy to pick, but I didn't have to do it, but bless you and the other women.
We had a board. Yeah. Yes. We had a board.
Had to read every one of 350. That's why Carrie knows it was 350, because
I read them all.
She had to read them all.
And it was a tough decision, but we did have a panel. We had a voting system, a ranking system, and a voting system, and we narrowed that down. And then we got the top 3. And then we were able to allow the viewers and the voters to go back and vote. And then they selected the winner for that free train system.
And they were definitely, the Davidsons definitely deserved it.
Well deserving.
It was. And
I think it's important, Brandon. We just had a meeting, our group,
Yes,
right?
we
And
did.
so it's important, I think, especially through this podcast, to announce that we're now seeking donations.
Yes.
We have a whole system that we've now created for if you want to be a part of this. Last year, we were able to give each of the 3 finalists a very generous gift basket. And we're going to do that again. Obviously, it costs money to promote this through TV and such. And so just wanting to be able to engage other community partners in this endeavor. And so if you're interested in that,
Yes.
what should they do?
Just please, I know we have the website, brownsgiveaway.com. Woody, is there a way to contact through that one, or do we need to give maybe an email address?
Well, they can still contact through that one.
Okay. So,
And if not, I will make sure by the end of the day they will be.
there's some kind of email.
Perfect.
So
Sorry to throw you on the spot.
if
Quick,
you're in
I'll do it right now.
Central Virginia and you were part, saw everything, we do have some different levels of sponsors. You can email me if you want at brownhvac@gmail.com, but you can also go to brownsgiveaway.com. The website's still live. There's a contact. What does it have, Woody? Is it because we're going to update and add some things, but there is a contact part, right? Or a message.
Yep, there's a contact part.
And you can go through that and enter it, and it'll come to Woody, and he'll make sure the whole team gets it. So if you want to donate just towards the thing, want to be a type of sponsor, we'll actually just put the document together. We'll get to Woody so he can maybe put that on there to have it to email to you if you're a business owner for the different levels. Carrie will send that to him now.
Yeah.
That if you didn't get it.
Yes,
But we're
sorry.
gonna have
We
3.
didn't plan that, Woody. My
Sorry,
bad.
yeah, this is the last minute, but we do have 3. I did reach out to Foster Fuels about one of the top ones. I'm waiting on them to answer, but as of now, there's 3 openings for just the main sponsors, and then there's 10 for the medium, and then unlimited. Anybody that wants to donate $0 to $99 towards it. 100% of it goes. Trust me, to this giveaway, to the commercials, to the advertising, to the prizes at the end. Because last year, we just announced it and ended up getting around $1,200 per basket of gift cards and giveaway of just people that come in and eat. Because yes, one person get the giveaway, but in my mind, all 3 that made the final 3 deserved it, and they all needed stuff. There was needs there other than heating, food, clothing, different things, and we want to be able to help all 3.
Right. And we were able to give them Thanksgiving baskets. That was some food and things.
This led to a Thanksgiving and a
right. So it wasn't just a one-time thing, and so that's kind of why we wanted to also then say, hey, this is an extension to the community. Yep. I think we've talked with Central Virginia Business Coalition.
Yes, they're on for one of the sponsorships.
So
correct.
we do have some sponsor levels, we've got some partner levels, we've got contributing levels, and then if you just really want to give a gift, monetary $25 to $50 gift card, or even an in-kind gift maybe from your business that we could put towards those gift packages, we will have 3 finalists again this year.
Yes, yep, and big live giveaway, and yes, we did that. After that went through, we had a church reach out to us for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and they provided 3 full holiday meals. It was amazing. Awesome. They showed up with 3 boxes with hams, turkey, vegetable, everything they needed for their Thanksgiving and Christmas meal for the final 3, and we delivered it to them with a card from the church saying this is from us, from that church, and it was really amazing to see because they called and asked if they could do it. And we absolutely,
it's such a hard time, and that was one of the things that we talked about as a team coming together, coming out of this pandemic, and I think kind of just back to the business aspects of it. Like every business right now is struggling, right? Like we've been hit with pay raises across the board. We've been hit with inflation, gas prices. You were recently just interviewed about that on Fox News, and there's just been this growing demand, even just emotionally, physically, and mentally on people right now. So we're seeing teams stressed out. We're seeing people just at a more isolated than ever because of the way that the world has been for the past couple years. And so that is why I've kind of really stepped into some of this of just wanting to encourage businesses. I'm having a ton of people come to me right now and say, how can we hire? Every single staff seems to be understaffed right now or looking for people. And so, it's just kind of stepping outside of the box and coming up with even some strategies to help people right now with whatever those needs look like. Yeah,
absolutely. So, if you want to help, you can go to brownsgiveaway.com and do some messaging, and Woody, the team gets it. So Woody gets it. We'll get you the info you need, and we will be we have a short commercial, and then actually after this commercial, we're going to flip the script, and Carrie's going to interview me about some questions and things maybe some people listen to the podcast every day want to know. So we'll be right back.
Inside the Trane testing facility, our heating and cooling products are put through 16 weeks of extreme temperature fluctuations to simulate 5 years of wear and tear. But these aren't just seasonal shifts. Inside the lab, it fluctuates between 150 degrees one day to sub-zero temperatures and layers of snow the next. Then back to hot, then back to cold. Then hot and cold. Hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. And we didn't even get through the first month. We test, so it runs. That's why it's hard to stop a train.
All right, we are back. So we are flipping the script today. This is so fun. I recently was on with Heather and her podcast, and now I get to be on with you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. I'm glad to have you.
Maybe I'm going to start my own podcast. I don't know.
Hey, there's a time spot between me and Heather that's open, right?
Okay.
Let's do it.
So it looks like I'm going to have to get on here by myself. But Brandon, today I get to flip the script and interview you. So this is your normal time. This is your podcast every week. People get to hear from you a lot, but I'm going to ask you a couple of questions because one of the things we were just talking about is this contest that we were just doing, and I want to kind of get deeper into what is it that you truly are passionate about when it comes to your business and even just the community.
That's the community. A lot of that answer is in the question. You know, I've been blessed to be in business for 17 years, and if it was not for the community and my customers, I would not be in business, you know. So yes, we put out a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and a lot of work to start a business, but you're only going to grow your business and you're only going to grow your customer base based on how you treat them. Sure. You know, so a lot of customers depend on us to provide a service, and I'm blessed to do that and go into thousands of homes a year and give them that service, and they come back for repeat. And then I was always raised in a Christian home, and I always had the give back mentality taught to me, whether it was in church, school, my family. Just make sure if you're able to, because I've had people give me things growing up, sure. You know, and I've always been told, make sure if you're ever able to, make sure you give back, take care of the ones that are. Because, like I said, we wouldn't be in business without the people supporting me. So we need to make sure we're supporting and giving back to the community where it's needed and local, so that they're able to prosper as well.
That's awesome. I love the fact that you are just in that continuous cycle of you were blessed, you've been given to, and you just want to continue to give that back. So, I think that's just an example of like to whom much the Lord has given you a lot, and you're turning that over in stewardship to the community. Why do you think you have such a passion for local business?
To me, it's because local business, I think, is the backbone of our community. Sure. And that's one of our main things with this show and Heather, the next show that's Central Virginia Business Coalition, is shop local is huge. If you listen last week, I actually went on, probably went on like a 5-minute rant about supporting local during these times, because if you go to your kid's school and you look up on our baseball game and you look on their jerseys, you don't see Walmart. There's good places. Sure, don't get me wrong. You don't see Amazon sponsoring your kid's team, putting a banner on the fence. You don't see these big corporations unless it's on TV every day, like racing or baseball or something like that. You know, our local kids rely on our sponsorships to play sports, to get out of the house and get educated in life, so they're not just stuck on video games. Yeah. And if we're not shopping local so that these local businesses can grow and sponsor, it's just going to kill that. And, you know, that love for different things outside of the home, so kids can grow, you know, with other people and in sports. So local is huge. I think it's the backbone of every little community in America that's making us America, and what makes it so great.
You guys are sponsors of hockey, right?
Yes.
Hockey.
Yeah, we do.
Boys play.
We do a lot of boys play. We sponsor the actual LU team, but we sponsor like their team when to help little kids play. We've got several Little League baseball teams and some travel softball teams, and throughout the year, people will come to us for different events and groups that we try to help sponsor and give back.
And so that's some of the monetary contributions that you give, but talk to me a little bit about the time. I mean, yesterday we were at a meeting that you coordinated, and tell me a little bit about that.
That's a group that I wanted to put together with leaders and business owners around Central Virginia that are Christian based, that maybe thought, hey, I'm alone, or I know there's other Christian based owners and leaders, but how do we get together and collaborate, pray, get in the Word, and realize how do we grow our business the right way, the godly way, not just the money way. Yeah. So I wanted to put that together, and it mainly came intuition to me was last year after I had my scare. I had a tumor in my throat, and God, thank God, it was benign. But the stuff I had to go through from beginning to end to get to that result just really woke me up to say, it could have went the other way. Right. And I need to do better as a person, a father, a husband, a business owner, to share, I've been blessed with, of course, I'm a business owner, but I feel like I'm blessed to be as a leader to help people grow their businesses, but I want to grow it the right way. Yeah. So the way we present customer service to people, I think everybody, no matter whether they're a realtor or, or advertising or concrete, we had everybody there. We had 15, 20 people there, and everybody did something different. Yeah. And it was great to see.
Yeah. What an encouragement too. I mean, again, you're not just, putting your money where your mouth is, but you're putting your time behind that passion and that belief. I think everybody that was there, 10 or 12 different businesses represented. And this is something you're going to do monthly, right? So once a month, Christian leaders coming together, whether you're a business owner or an entrepreneur or just a Christian leader.
Yeah. You could be a supervisor in a big corporation. If people are under you and you're expected to lead, you want to lead the right way.
And so we were at the Central Virginia Business Coalition Awards dinner last week, and you were probably surprised.
Yes, I was
But
shocked.
You were given an award. What is the official title of the award that you were named?
The official title was Citizen of the Year.
Citizen of the Year.
For Central Virginia.
Woo! Congratulations. All right. Just a round of applause.
Thank you very much.
But seriously, and we've kind of jokingly been calling you the mayor. But no disrespect to anyone who's actually won that official title. But really, tell us why, first of all, you were shocked and also honored by this award.
I was definitely honored because, just to have that acknowledgement, I guess, from somebody or whoever, how it came about, I'm blessed and thankful for everybody that saw that. It's I didn't expect it, of course. I mean, I didn't even know. Yeah, I didn't expect it because I don't feel like I've done a lot. I want to do more. I don't feel like I'm trying to do just my part is all I'm trying to do. I don't want to do something just so that I get an award. I'm doing it because I love the community. I love the people in this community and the different groups that we support. We love them, from the bottom of my heart. We go and spend a lot of time with sporting events and fundraisers and stuff because we want to see everybody successful. Right. I don't want just Brown's Heating and Air successful. And I've got friends that own heating and air companies that we collaborate all the time because I want them successful as well. There's enough work for everybody. I'm not trying to get all the heating and air and plumbing work. I want them to be successful because they got family and they've got employees to feed just like I am. So, I was shocked. I'm definitely honored and blessed and thankful for that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's a huge honor. I'm privileged to be able to have been there to see you win. It's well deserved. I think that the voting they definitely got it right. What are you gonna say to the listener right now who says, "Man, I wish that I could just start something like that, or I wish that I could live into my passion"? What is your best advice to somebody like that?
Don't give up. Don't give up. Do what you love. And I tell people all the time, trade schools are great to go to. I was not a good school person. I mean, I probably passed with a C average. I hated school. I hated to read. I was a hands-on person that wanted to learn. That's when I got into heating and air because, one, I knew with our situation at the time, I wasn't going to afford a 4-year college unless I went thousands into debt.
Right.
But I wasn't a school person. I didn't want to go to school for 4 years and flunk out or quit and have all this money. So I got into heating and air and just kept trucking. I mean, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of 7-day work weeks, a lot of just passion and people telling me, because I did heating and air for 7 years for another company. And when I decided I wanted to go on my own, as I left, the company I was at the time, I told them, like, this is just my passion. I want to do something of my own. And I was told by that owner, good luck, you won't make it. We'll see you back in 6 months.
Wow.
That's what pushed, I'm going to make it. So
that was the motivation.
That was my motivation because I just knew. So don't give up. There's ways. There's if you can't afford different colleges, I couldn't. There's programs out there to help pay for trade schools, technical school. Find what you love and you're passionate about, and you will be successful. Just don't give up. Don't just settle for something, less than you can do, because everybody has their strengths and weaknesses and can be successful.
I have a tool that I use a lot of times when I'm coaching individuals and sometimes with smaller groups that really kind of helps them narrow down what they're passionate about. And a lot of times I end up asking, well, what are your strengths? And people struggle sometimes to answer that question. And I think especially as coming out of like high school and sometimes even college students that I've worked a ton with, it really is one of those things that you have to actually spend some time on.
Yeah.
And like you said, you just kept kind of tinkering. I was reading today in the first couple chapters of Joshua where the Lord continues to tell him, like, be strong and courageous.
Yeah.
I'm not going to part that water until you dip the first toe in, and then the river parts, right? Like, but sometimes it's about taking that first step of faith.
Yeah. My first strength is the faith. Like I've got that. I think that helped me through. My second strength is my wife. She's amazing.
She is wonderful.
Very smart. She's very quiet and reserved. I don't, everybody's like, y'all are too opposite, because I'm outgoing. I want to talk to everybody. I want to meet everybody. I'm okay. I'm the big party type.
Right.
And she's the very nice, sweet, and loves that, but she's just very reserved, but she's amazing. But she loves, like, anybody that gets to know her, once you get to know her, she's the same as me.
She's super friendly and sweet.
Very friendly, very sweet, very smart. And then she's the backbone of, her coming on to work for me full time finally about 5 or 6 years ago, where she was able to, after the kids were both in school, was the best thing that happened to our business. A lot of people say you really, how do you work with your spouse? And it is hard at times, but we both know. I know my weaknesses. My weaknesses are her strengths.
Right.
And
you
opposite.
Really complement
and we
each
actually
other.
love working together.
Yeah.
So we don't have issues. We go home and leave work at work.
That's great.
You start talking about stuff and ideas, but we leave work at work.
Yeah.
You have to have a relationship. So she's been the amazing. She's the one that pushed me to tell me when we were dating at the time, you need to do it on your own. You can do it. So, and I was holding back. Because you're scared,
Right.
How are we going to make it? We're getting ready to get married, this and that. She's like, you can do it. So, she pushed me to make that decision.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that I've had to be learning the past couple of years, even just during COVID, of can I really make a business out of consulting and helping other businesses? And that's also my passion, is wanting to see people take that step of faith and figure out what they're passionate about and what their strengths are, and kind of scratching beneath the surface and really getting curious about those things, and then setting them on a course to giving them some strategy. Sometimes it really is just about taking that first step.
Yes. Yeah. That's my next goal. I'd like to, once my business is set where it can run without me, is traveling maybe the country a couple times a year, meeting other heating and air companies that are starting, and kind of helping coach them to get where they need to be.
Definitely. I think you could do it. Absolutely. Citizen of the Year turned consultant and coach. We can do it. We can make it happen, right?
Do anything you want to do.
Awesome. Well, is there any funny stories that you can recall? I mean, 17 years of business. Gosh. You got to maybe dig deep into the recesses. Or a memory, something
I'm trying to think of. There's so many. Some of them I really can't say on air because it was just.
I know we meant to file this away forever.
Oh, we've had a ton. We've done. I get to thinking about it. I mean, I probably was in 500-600 houses a year for 17 years.
Wow.
Because if you go, when I was in service, we do 10, 12 calls a day.
Right.
So you keep adding up. I've been in a lot of houses. So we'll drive down the road all the time, and I'll tell my son, hey, I've been in that house. Hey, I've been in that house. And that's true, because I've seen the funny pictures online with heating and air owners. Like, if you ever ride with your dad that does a trade, he's going to tell you every house he's been into, and they're right.
So your kids are also getting it too from you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Are either one of them expressing any interest?
Yeah, my son Parker, he's 10 now. He wants to come this summer and work. So I'm going to bring him to work and let him do some things around the shop, teach him some things, and maybe put him in a van with the service guy and ride for a day. He wants to learn. He really is excited about learning that. Dawson's a little too young right now. He's like, nah, I'm all right. He's only 6. But
I put my 13-year-old son to work at Chick-fil-A, make him wipe down tables, earn a free milkshake.
It's a good start.
It's good practice, honestly.
I was trying to think. Oh, I do. There is one funny. I was just starting with I was about a year into heating and air, and I was actually doing cleanings one day, and we were up at the lake, and I was like, all right, the guy told me, all right, well, you start outside and I'll do inside. So I'm out cleaning the unit, and that thing's shining up, man, looking good. I'm like, man, I'm doing a good job. And I hadn't been there long, and the guy come around the corner, and he just dropped his tool bag, and his eyes got real wide, and I'm like, oh no, what'd I do? Well, I had put too much pressure on the water, on the coil outside. So you know how the fins look like on a radiator, an outdoor coil? Well, I had flattened the whole thing. So it wasn't cleaning. It was just the new silver of the coil flattening.
On the other side.
So they ended up having to replace the guy's outdoor unit because I did that. And I had to pay like half of it out of paycheck. And I learned very quick.
Never did that again, did you?
I did not do a good job. I was proud of myself, and I was like, this is amazing. But yeah, I learned pretty quick.
I think the moral of the story is that you too can learn from your mistakes.
That's right.
And end up as a success.
That's very well. Well, thank you. Thank you. It was a great show.
My pleasure.
Cool Talk. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Woody. We will see y'all next Wednesday.